What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. If you're just tuning in, we have been doing a countdown of all 50 states ranked by natural beauty. We're over the halfway point now with only 20 states to go. If you missed the first 3 videos, I'll put the links down below. It's about to get really competitive. Let's dive right in. Number 20, New York. Now, when most people think of New York, they think of the city. For purposes of this video, if you haven't figured it out already, we're pretty much looking at everything but that. New York State doesn't get near enough props for its natural side. New York has 215 state parks. That ranks second in the nation. To put that in perspective, they are only ranked 30th in actual size. But with coastline along 2 Great Lakes and an ocean, not to mention mountain ranges like the Adirondacks and Catskills Mountains, it really comes as no surprise. There's also an abundance of breathtaking waterfalls to explore, like Chittenango Falls, Watkins Glen, Rainbow Falls, and of course, Niagara. Number 19, Vermont. Vermont has done a great job of branding itself to the rest of the country. If you've ever seen pictures of Vermont from one of their many marketing campaigns, you would almost think it's fall all year round. Obviously, it's not. But it does have rolling green hills for much of the year, and the aptly named Green Mountains are spectacular. But yes, fall is really nice here too. It's also fairly rural, and there's no shortage of streams, lakes, and forests scattered throughout the entire state. Number 18, New Hampshire. Vermont and New Hampshire share many similarities, and there's a bit of a neighboring state rivalry going on. New Hampshire also has its abundance of lakes, streams, forests, and mountains. Its nature also rivals Vermont. Whereas Vermont has Lake Champlain, New Hampshire has Lake Winnipesaukee. Where Vermont has the Green Mountains, New Hampshire has the White Mountains. New Hampshire also has the highest peak of any New England state with Mount Washington. So what ended up being the tiebreaker for these 2 states? New Hampshire has a coastline. It isn't much of one, but it's there, whereas Vermont is landlocked. Winner in a very close race, New Hampshire. Number 17, Virginia. They say Virginia is for lovers, and what's not to love? Just take a journey down Skyline Drive in Shenandoah National Park, and you'll be blown away with views of stunning peaks and overlooks. Keep driving south, and Skyline Drive eventually turns into the Blue Ridge Parkway, one of the most scenic drives in the country. Virginia also has some very respectable coastline along the Atlantic and some really breathtaking waterfalls like Great Falls and Falling Springs. But the mountains are definitely the biggest draw in this state. Number 16, West Virginia. The mountains of Virginia extend well into West Virginia. In fact, that is sort of what West Virginia is known for. You don't have to go far to find a breathtaking overlook in this state. And with lakes, rivers, mountains, and gorges at almost every turn, it's no wonder West Virginia draws so many hiking enthusiasts. If you're looking to spend some time here, I definitely recommend checking out Babcock State Park. Number 15, Tennessee. Tennessee has the most visited national park in the country, the Smoky Mountains. It also has more caves than any other state. The western part of the state might be wooded, but it has little going for it aside from that. The eastern part of the state, however, is known for its scenery, with amazing waterfalls, first-class whitewater rafting, towering mountains, fields of rhododendron, hiking opportunities galore, and the highest point along the Appalachian Trail. It's no wonder Tennessee receives so many visitors each year. Number 14, Idaho. When discussing the most scenic states in America, Idaho doesn't get near enough credit in that conversation. As if sharing part of Yellowstone and lying on the backside of the Grand Tetons wasn't enough, Idaho has world-class ski resorts like Sun Valley, rich blue lakes like Coeur d'Alene, otherworldly mountains like the Sawtooths, towering sand dunes, the nation's deepest river gorge at Hell's Canyon, and impressive falls like Shoshone, a towering waterfall that's actually 45 feet higher than Niagara. Number 13, Maine. Maine might have the most impressive coastline along the eastern seaboard. With its rugged beaches and thousands of jagged islands, nearly 60% of Maine's coastline is composed of rocks. Maine is also home to the breathtaking Acadia National Park and Mount Katahdin, the tip of the Appalachian Trail. Whether you're hopping lighthouses, spending the day on some of the cleanest lakes in the country, or taking a hike through one of Maine's many dense forests, this state definitely has the best scenery in the Northeast. Number 12, North Carolina. Back to the Smoky Mountains. And unlike Tennessee, where it gets less interesting the further you head away from the Smokies, North Carolina's mountains just keep going into the expansive Blue Ridge Mountains. North Carolina is where you'll find the highest peaks east of the Mississippi. It's where you'll find the tallest waterfalls east of the Rockies and the highest density of waterfalls per square mile. Whether you're driving on the Blue Ridge Parkway or hiking in the Pisgah National Forest, there's no shortage of things to see, and that's just the western part of the state. North Carolina is also a coastal state with 300 miles of barrier island beaches and quaint coastal towns. For those with plenty of time on their hands, the Mountains to Sea Trail will take you from one side of the state to the other. With so many outdoor adventures just waiting to be experienced, the only thing keeping this state out of the top 10 is that western half. And number 11, Michigan. Michigan is the last state east of the Mississippi to appear on this list. Now, when many people think of this state, they often bring up its glory days of the auto industry or the economic struggles of the 21st century. As a result, Michigan might be the most underrated state in the country when it comes to its natural side. This state has 3,288 miles of coastline between its upper and lower peninsulas, from sandy beaches to rocky coasts, lighthouses, and stunning rock formations. The Michigan coast has a little bit of everything. And for those interested in jumping in a kayak and exploring, I recommend either checking out Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore or Isle Royale National Park. And as if that wasn't enough, the UP has some of the best untouched forested areas in the country. All right, who's ready for the top 10? You know, there are so many breathtaking places in America. I feel like this list could have easily been a top 10 in so many other countries. But we still have another video coming, and it's only going to get better from here as we head out west for the remaining states. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe for more videos and stay tuned for the top 10. Thanks for watching.